Hey friends, welcome back to my channel at The Starlings. If you're new here, I'm Peggy. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Today I wanted to bring you some easily achieved nourishing meals. So I wanted to show you about a week's worth of nourishing dinners, and I've also thrown in some snacks, some lunches, and even a little bit of breakfast to give you an example of some good nourishing meals. So we're eating in kind of a pro-metabolic way, where we're eating things that are nourishing to our bodies. We're eating things that work well with our metabolisms. So we have no issues with rice, with grains, with gluten, things like that. So you will see all of that in our meals. We try to avoid the highly processed oils. We're doing our best to avoid all of those. But otherwise, we try to keep everything in balance. That's kind of how we eat. So we try to eat the best quality meats and dairy that we can, try to eat organic, non-GMO, those kinds of things, wherever it's available and possible for us. So that's what you'll see in our meals. So I wanted to just show you what that looks like for our family and hopefully inspire you to create some nourishing meals for your family. So come along and I'll show you what those meals look like. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm making for dinner tonight. First, I have someone that wants to say hi. Hi. That is Piper. She is 4 years old and she's going to play with her sisters now. So I wanted to show you this marinara sauce that I get from Azure Standard. It's really good, it's organic. Instead of making my own sauce, it totally has ingredients that I would use if I made my own. So I feel good about buying this. It's organic. Tomatoes are on the Dirty Dozen, so you want to get organic if you're able. So I get this jarred marinara sauce from Azure Standard in bulk, but I know what you're thinking, oh, she's probably gonna make spaghetti. But I'm not gonna make spaghetti. I wanted to show you that this is really versatile. You can use it obviously for spaghetti and other Italian dishes, but I like to also have it on hand to make curry. So tonight I'm gonna make chicken tikka masala using this, and maybe it's not like super, authentic Indian cuisine, but it makes a pretty good Indian curry. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. Okay, here are my ingredients. So I have some organic chicken breast here. I'm gonna cook that in the avocado oil back there. Get that going, then I'll take it out and cook the onion in there that I'm gonna cut up. And then these are the spices I'm gonna use. I have this curry powder, organic curry powder that I get from Azure Standard, some garam masala. You don't have to have this necessarily. You may have a lot of the spices that are in this. So I'll show you what's in there. Cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, cumin, black pepper, coriander, and nutmeg. So if you have those, you can make your own garam masala. But I make this a lot, so this dish, so I buy garam masala. Some garlic powder. I'm out of garlic, fresh garlic. Otherwise I would use fresh garlic, but so this is going in there. And then normally I would use some yogurt, but I'm out of that. So I'm gonna use this probiotic sour cream. That'll work just fine. And a little bit of this organic heavy whipping cream also. So it's gonna make a nice tomatoey, creamy, delicious chicken curry for us. It's chicken tikka masala, and we're gonna get that going. All right, cooking up my chicken. It just has some salt and pepper on it. This will make probably 4 to 6 servings, but that happens to be plenty for my family, but you could increase or double this recipe if you have a larger family. All right, I was cooking my chicken, then I had a crying baby, then I had someone who got their toe caught in the door and it was bleeding, so all of that was fun. Then the wind blew over our recycling bin across the road because we have a tropical storm coming this weekend. We're already getting the wind from that. We're in Florida, if you didn't know. So now I'm back to the chicken. It took a little time, but I'm back. So here's my chicken getting nice and brown. So I'm gonna set this aside to rest, and then I'm gonna cut it up and add it back in later. Okay, this is what you wanna see when you get your chicken out. Got some chicken pieces still in there. Those are gonna just keep browning and add to the flavor. So now I'm gonna add in my onion here. It's a yellow onion, a sweet onion. So I'm gonna add that in, and then I'm gonna follow that up with my spices. And then after the spices and the onion is cooked down, then I'm gonna add in the marinara sauce. Okay, my onions are cooked down, spices are in. I did about a tablespoon of the garlic powder, about a tablespoon of the curry powder, and about a tablespoon of the garam masala. So we're gonna let those bloom in the avocado oil that's in here with the onion, and then we'll keep going from there. All right, next I'm gonna put some salt in here. I use sea salt for all the good minerals. Put some of that in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put in my marinara sauce. Get that in there. And then I'll cut up the chicken and get that put in. Okay, chicken is in. You pretty much wanna cut it into some bite-sized chunks. So I'm going to mix that in. And then the next thing is going to be the cream. And then when it's all done, we're gonna finish it with the sour cream. Yes. So now I'm gonna pour my cream into here. And then I'm gonna shake that up just to get the rest of the marinara and get that put in. Okay, so that's going in. And then after that, I'm gonna let it just simmer for a while. I'm gonna get started on making my rice. I'm gonna serve this with white rice. That's what I have right now. We already had brown rice this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and do white for us. Part of the whole pro-metabolic thing is that there are no like off-limits foods. It's basically whatever feels good and is nourishing for your body, as long as it doesn't cause you any problems. We don't really have problems with white rice, so we're gonna have that still about once a week. So this is the time for that. So I'm gonna get my rice going and let this simmer. I was thinking maybe you could use some rice advice. I don't know, maybe you're a pro, but I always rinse the rice really well until it runs clear to get a lot of the extra starch off. And then I toast it in my pot in some grass-fed butter. Okay, I toasted the rice, and then I put some water in here, slightly less than double the amount of rice. So a little less than 4 cups is what I put in for 2 cups of rice. And then I put in some salt, really good mineral salt. Now it is starting to boil, so I'm gonna get that on. I'm gonna cook it here for 15 minutes and then take it off of the burner, off of the heat, and let it steam for 10. Forgot to mention reducing it from high down to low to a simmer now that it's up to a boil. Okay, so I'm adding in that probiotic sour cream to finish it off. Typically I would use some yogurt, usually some plain whole milk Greek yogurt, but since I don't have that, I'm using the sour cream. And then I have a little helper who loves to come and stir things up.
Did you cook it better than the rice cooker?
Yep.
We're hungry.
So now I'm going to show you my adrenal cocktail recipe. It is some organic orange juice. Then I'm going to add to that some coconut milk, organic coconut milk, some cream of tartar for the potassium, and then some mineral salt for the minerals. You can drink this pretty much anytime during the day, I'm drinking it after a workout here, and it's really delicious and it's good for cleansing those adrenals. So this evening I'm going to make a roasted chicken using this pastured whole chicken. I'm going to cook it in some avocado oil, so I'm just going to rub that on the chicken and bake it in a glass Pyrex dish. I'm going to have to use a bigger one. There we go. And then I am seasoning it with some different dry seasonings that I had. And I'm going to serve this with some roasted broccoli. So that's in some avocado oil with salt and pepper. And then I'm also going to make some garlic mashed potatoes, and that's what we'll have. Here are the mashed potato ingredients. So I'm just going to boil my potatoes in my Dutch oven. These are organic gold potatoes. Halfway through cooking, I'm going to flip over my chicken to cook the breast side to finish it. And here it is when it comes out. So with the pan juices, I'm going to make some gravy. So I'm just using the pan juices, and then I'll use either a little flour or a little cornstarch to thicken it. And here's our dinner all finished this night. Roasted chicken, some roasted broccoli, some mashed potatoes, and some gravy. So with the pieces of chicken that we didn't eat, I packed those up in a bag. I'm going to use the bones to make bone broth and pick off the rest of the chicken for another dinner. So this is the next night. I'm going to pick the chicken and put it in this bowl. And that is what we'll use for tonight's dinner. So for tonight I decided to make soup. So I'm going to take this chicken and put it into my Dutch oven and cook it down to make some stock. Then I'll add the chicken in for my soup. While I'm at it, I'm just making a quiche with some leftover bacon that I had, some cheese, some chives, and my crust. I can link this recipe in the cards above. And here's how my quiche turned out. This is really great for Andy and I to have during the weeks for our breakfasts. So I've got the chicken frame in the pot, and I'm going to add these frozen leftover vegetable pieces that I've saved. I'm going to add all that together in my Dutch oven with some water just to make the stock for my soup. Next I'm going to add the Redmond real salt here to add some good minerals for us. So I've added some herbs from my garden that I've cut up, and now I'm going to add in these frozen mixed vegetables in here to add some veggies to our soup. Now the chicken is going in, and I had some leftover rice, brown rice, and a little leftover white rice. So both of those will go into our soup too. And then I'm going to add some heavy whipping cream, organic heavy whipping cream, to add some creaminess to it. And then we essentially have a chicken and rice soup with some veggies in there. Earlier in this day, I made some banana bread, so I just wanted to show you that really quick. I'm gonna have some of this for a snack with some browned butter and a nice little fall latte. Got some cinnamon and some cardamom in there, a little cinnamon on top. It's sweetened with some maple syrup. And here's a lunch idea that I use for the kids. It's some whole grain organic chicken nuggets and some roasted carrot coins. Tonight we're going to have this wild caught Pacific cod. I'm going to roast some zucchini to go with that, and we'll have it with some brown rice. I got this 7 grains brown rice from Aldi. It's organic and it didn't have any bad oils or anything in it, so we're going to have that with our fish. I'm gonna season the cod with some basil from my garden and then some of this lemon zest, salt and pepper, and some garlic powder. Here it is all done, so this was our dinner on this night. So the next meal I'm making will be tacos. I found these organic yellow corn taco shells that are really delicious. They have really good ingredients. They do have a little bit of expeller pressed canola or safflower oil or sunflower oil, which is not the best, but it's definitely the best thing in the grocery store for taco shells, and it has organic non-GMO corn, so that's good. I'm using the same kind of ground beef that I had before that has the heart and liver mixed into it, and no one is able to even taste it in the tacos either. So I'm adding some garlic powder, I'm gonna add some onion powder, a few other seasonings to make my own little taco seasoning here and get the taco meat going. Then I'm adding a little bit of water to help keep it from drying out. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of organic tomato paste to finish it off. I would add some beef broth if I had some more, but at this point I didn't have any. So for toppings, I'm putting on the table this cantina salsa, and it has really good ingredients in it, nothing that's any problem or anything. Same with this guacamole from Publix. It also had all good ingredients, no hidden bad oils or anything like that in it. And then this is some Monterey Jack cheese, raw cheese that I get from Azure Standard. And then this is a queso dip that I found at the store, and it has all pretty good ingredients too. Not perfect, but definitely the best that the store has to offer. So we'll eat that with some chips. And here's our spread for our taco night. So another nourishing meal for my family. Something I drink pretty often is a fiber supplement, so I wanted to show you my favorite one. It's this Bellway Super Fiber and Collagen, the strawberry lemonade flavor. It's really great for some added fiber since no one really gets enough fiber just from diet. So I try to drink this every day. This one has collagen in it, which is good for hair, skin, and nails, and also for joints. If you have any like sore joints, the collagen is good for that as well. So I try to drink at least one serving of a fiber supplement every day. So for dinner tonight, I'm gonna make some chili using this ground beef that's grass-fed beef with beef heart and beef liver added. No one can taste it. And I'm gonna add this sausage to it. It's local sausage from a local farm. So I'm going to start with some grass-fed butter in the bottom of my Dutch oven here, and to that I'm going to add in my yellow onion that's cut up here. Once I've got my onions going, then I add in my ground beef, the pork, and some salt and pepper, plenty of that mineral sea salt. Then I'm going to add some cocoa powder to it. This really is going to add a lot. Maybe not add quite that much, but it's okay, it worked out. And then I've got my other seasonings that I added in as well. Chili. and a little bit of honey. That's also gonna just bring up the flavor. The other seasonings I have in here are garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of cinnamon, and then I'm adding this taco seasoning, homemade taco seasoning that I also had on hand. While the girls are finishing their math on this day, they're having some Nourishing hot chocolate using some grass-fed milk, some organic cream, a little bit of cane sugar, a little bit of organic vanilla, and some Dutch processed cocoa powder. So they're really enjoying that on this colder day. Back to my chili, I'm going to add some of this organic tomato paste, get that in there, and then I have some leftover regular beef broth from Sam's Club, so I'm going to add that in as well. And then I've just added my canned pinto beans and kidney beans to this, just making it really easy, and finishing my chili up, pulling it all together. We're gonna have some grilled cheese with our chili. So I'm making that using my broiler. So I'm adding some cheese that I've grated up onto this sprouted whole grain bread. I've covered that with some grass-fed butter. It's gonna go under the broiler, and then halfway through I'll flip it, and it makes the perfect grilled cheese. On this morning, I'm making the kids some pancakes using my organic all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, some salt. I use some grass-fed butter, a couple of eggs, and some grass-fed milk, and some of my honey, and some vanilla, organic vanilla. So we get that all added together, and it makes some delicious pancakes that the kids really enjoy having. Cook those in my cast iron skillet. I do some plain and then some chocolate chip, and everybody gets to enjoy pancakes. We do this at least once every week. So half chocolate chip, half regular pancakes. Makes a really good, nourishing breakfast for my family. So for my last dinner, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna make with this chickpea penne pasta. So we don't have any issues with gluten or anything, but I just wanted to try it because it's nutrient dense. So I'm gonna add all of these vegetables to that. I'm gonna start by making my Alfredo sauce. Here are the ingredients for my Alfredo sauce: some heavy whipping cream, some grass-fed butter, some organic garlic, and some Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to use this organic chicken that I got from Aldi to go in our pasta. For my Alfredo sauce, to the 1 stick of butter, I'm going to add in some garlic that I'm putting through my garlic press, but I'm struggling to do it with one hand. It's really difficult, so I'm going to do it with 2 hands. Then I'm going to start cooking my chicken. I've got some salt and pepper, some garlic powder, and some Italian herb seasoning on my chicken breasts. Now to my Alfredo sauce, I've added in my heavy cream, and now I'm adding in the Parmesan, and I'm going to let that just cook down and thicken. And then I'll add my salt and pepper to it, and it'll become a really delicious Alfredo sauce. There's no need to buy a jarred sauce that has all kinds of thickeners and things in it. It's really easy to make Alfredo sauce in about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to deglaze this pan that I cooked my chicken in with a little bit of water. just gonna scrape up the little bits from the pan. And then when I'm done deglazing it, I'm gonna pour that good chickeniness right into my Alfredo sauce. And it's just gonna add some extra flavor to my sauce. Now I'm going to add my finished sauce into my noodles and add everything together. Getting it all stirred up and mixed in. I'm going to add my roasted vegetables and my chicken to this as well. Then finally, I'm finishing it with some sun-dried tomatoes. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you again next time.